Hey Nolan, I'm going to be speaking a little bit slower today than normal. I know you're used to me jabbering very quickly, but I tell you, I can't remember in my 62 years, I think it's 62 years, who cares? I've never been this tired before in my whole life.
Well, you know, I was going to say something, Mike. You look kind of haggard there, and what the heck is that on your desk?
Well, I wanted to, that is one of 3,181 concrete bricks.
Why is it on your desk?
Well, because I just wanted to remind myself that after the call today, I have to go back up and put another 1,500 of them into my sidewalk.
Oh, man. The things that people learn about our lives outside of the Mike and Nolan show.
No, I said to myself, that sounds like fun. I think I'm going to go out and build a patio and build a walkway around to the garage, and I'm going to do it myself because I think this is going to be fun.
So let me guess. Let me just guess here. So I'm guessing that it worked perfectly the first time, that it was easy, that it was aligned, that you didn't have to change anything, and you said to yourself, I would never hire a professional to do this kind of job, right?
Well, you know, you're almost right on the money there, that it started out fun, and I had my level out, and I had my tape out. I was doing the tape and the shovel and the dirt and the stone dust and making this thing. And I realized how important it is if you don't get that base level, and here's a word for you, you screed it. You screed the stone dust.
Now you're making that up.
No, you screed it, man. I know these things. and if that's not perfect, you have a big problem when you get to brick number 2,000.
All right, you're going to have to explain screeding. Is this a Jersey term?
No. Screeding is when you put the stone dust down on top of the crushed stone, and then you drag a board across the top of the sand, call it sand, stone dust, and you drag the board to make it perfectly level.
So does it make that screeding sound? Is that what you call it?
And you got that screeding sound, and then you can take the brick and you can just lay it right down on this flat surface because it's level now.
And you did it perfectly the first time, right?
Well, no, what happens is you do about 400 bricks and then you stand off and you realize you didn't screed right.
Are you telling me you had to re-screed?
No, I had to take all of these bricks up and take them out when my wife wasn't looking, re-screed, and then do it again.
You know, there's a point in here, besides this word that I'm still convinced you made up, there's a point here that sometimes you got to know when to call a professional.
That's 100% bada boom, bada bing.
Well, we got, you know, travel agents listening to this show, they get all up in arms when somebody decides to book themselves on the internet and do it themselves, but then they'll be the first to try to create their own website, to try to do their own graphic design and try to save a few bucks. But probably like you often find out it took twice as long and cost 3 times as much as if you'd had the guy who knew how to do it in the first place.
You know, it starts out fun and then it starts going downhill, and then when it's not done properly, look, I stopped and fixed a patio. You can't fix a vacation.
That's true. You can't just pick up the bricks and screed it again.
You can't. There's no mulligans. There's no mulligans when you go to Italy.
Well, you know, I read some stats not too long ago about why people do sometimes book online instead of using a travel agent. Would you like to hear what they are?
I want to know what those are.
I know you do, and screed is not in the list.
Well, you look that up. You're going to call me up with an apology because that's what screeding is.
I'll never admit it. So I found out the top 3 reasons why people do book online instead of using a travel agent, and the first one is kind of has something to do with why you laid your own bricks. The number 1 reason is not price. It's in the list. But the number 1 reason is it's part of the fun. You thought that was going to be fun, didn't you?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And there probably was fun.
It was fun for the beginning.
Yeah, it can be fun. And so sometimes people book themselves online because it's fun. It's fun to look at the videos, do the research, share it with a family, and all that sort of thing. The other thing is, if they think the internet is fun, but the travel agent's not fun, they're going to choose fun. You have to be as much or more fun than going to the internet and looking at all those sexy videos.
You know, I've done that exact thing, Nolan, was I had an electrician once, and he was such a pain in the neck. he drove me to Home Depot to buy a book to learn how to do it myself.
Oh man, I can totally understand that, and I wonder how many travel agents are so boring and blasé that their customer says, "Hey, I'm going back to Expedia. At least it was fun and had cool videos and stuff."
So number one, be fun.
Be fun. You have to be fun, and also don't yell at people if they did once in a while decide to do it themselves. You're ruining the fun. It's okay if they do it once in a while. But number two.
Hey, back up 1 minute.
Okay.
Number one, if a bricklayer found out that I was doing it myself, he wouldn't get mad at me. He would say, Mike, be careful, take your time, and screed properly.
And then call me after you screw it up.
There you go.
So the number two reason that people say they'll book online instead of using a travel agent is there's no sales pressure. Because to them rather, you're a salesman. You're going to try to push something on them they don't want, and the internet won't do that. At least that's what they think. And so don't be a salesperson. Be a consultant, and you can't consult without asking questions.
And you know, we're scared of salespeople, but you play the name game, you're going to get aggressive, manipulative, fast-talking, commission. We still question that salesperson agenda.
Yeah, we do. We do.
And we don't want to be pressured. Of course we don't want to be pressured.
Well, the number three reason is that they believe, even though they're dead wrong, they believe that they're going to get a better price online than dealing with a travel agent. Maybe because they think you're a salesperson instead of a consultant. Maybe because you're not having any fun with this. All of it ties together. And you know, when I look at all of this and with what you did with your sidewalk, sometimes it's fun, sometimes we screw it up, but the most important thing is to remember, you got to be fun, you got to know when to call a pro, you have to be a consultant, not a pushy salesperson, and don't punish them if they decide to screed it themselves once in a while.
And you know what I'm going to do, Nolan, to show you that I'm serious about this? I'm going to go up and I'm going to take a little footage of my sidewalk, and I'm going to include it in this session.
You know, I just have one request.
What's that?
I hope to God you don't have that plumber's butt thing going on when you're bending over the bricks, because this is supposed to be a family show, and I don't want to have to edit that out of the video.
And when I'm putting this on an uneven screed, I'm gonna mute the audio part too. How's that?
We might have to mute the whole darn thing. Hey, you got to get back to screeting, and I'm going to go look it up and see if it's a real word.
All right, I'll talk to you next week.
All right, bye, Mike.
That's